Hey there everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Demari and you're here for your September 2019 read for the sign of Scorpio. So just to begin with, to let you know, I'll be doing a Celtic cross style format using the Wild Unknown Tarot and the intuitive to clarify where needed, okay? So let's get stuck in, we'll waste no time. So what is it that you need to know in regards to your present circumstances, right? So where are you at currently with any aspect of your life that really is needing the most attention at this point? Ooh. Okay, so you've got the Father of Swords in reverse. So I feel like that is addressing... I feel like you're not gelling with someone right now. Someone that was very influential in your life. For some of you, it could literally be a father. Some of you, it could be someone that was, that you felt like had some level of power over you for a time. So it could be a partner, could be a best friend, or a different family member. It doesn't have to be a father, it could be an older brother. So just take it as, you know, it's relevant. But I feel like you've disconnected from this person, or you've had some bad blood between you, some kind of conflict. You're not talking so much right now. I feel like the communication's been cut off in some way. Interesting. So let's have a look then at the challenge. Like what's crossing you in regards to this then, this conflict. Okay, so you had two cards up here. Wow, so the Tower and the Devil, okay? So you have the Tower in reverse and the Devil in the upright. So I feel like you're not just not communicating, like you've had a serious disagreement to the point where you're not sure you want to see this person again. I mean, that's pretty heavy, like, right? But because of this disagreement or argument or some things that was said in the heat of the moment, it makes you feel like you never want anything to do with this person again, but that's not true to how you truly feel, okay? We will clarify that further later, but that's how I feel in regards to that with these two cards crossing the present. You know, the Father of Swords, the King of Swords, I feel in reverse. I feel like how you're feeling because of this circumstances isn't reflective of how you truly feel about this person, okay? I feel like it's just making you feel like, I don't want anything to do with you, I do not want to speak to you anymore, get out of my life, right? That's the kind of energy that you have right now towards this person, but I feel like that's not how you truly feel. I feel like you're very upset actually, you're very hurt. And that this is not how you want the communication to be, or the communication you wanted to have. And this is certainly not how you wanted the situation to be. So, okay, let's have a look then in regards to the recent past. Because like I said, I feel like something was said. Again, you had two cards. We're going to get a lot of cards for you, I think, Scorpio. So you've got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Moon card in reverse. So I think, yeah, I think that your true feelings was not communicated properly, and neither was theirs. And it was reactionary based on something else, circumstances or something someone else said, or just circumstances that happened within this relationship. Not necessarily a romantic relationship, but whatever relationship this is, you know, as I said, take it as it applies. But there was a series of events that occurred that brought it to this point where a huge row occurred, a massive disagreement, a huge falling out, and certain things were said in the heat of the moment that was very hurtful to you, Scorpio, but you didn't see everything that was beneath the surface. You didn't truly see how they felt. Even though you may have felt like you were the one that was attacked, or you could have been the one attacking, trying to get that reaction, you still didn't get to see everything that was beneath the surface, right? The true emotions beneath it all, the sadness, the upset, the longing. That's what I feel like. You know, with this, especially with this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like there is longing on both sides, right, for that reconnection, but so much has happened. You feel like it's pretty much impossible for that to occur right now. Again, like I said, that's not indicative of how you truly feel. It's just because of what's come out in the heat of the moment and the way you guys had this conflict, it makes you feel like that, but that's not what you truly want, okay? So let's have a look then in regards to the future. Okay, and you have the World card in reverse. So I feel like you're going to do a lot of introspection work. You're really going to reflect on everything that happened and why it happened, if you aren't already. And I feel like you're going to take some steps back. That you're going to take stock and you're going to take some steps back and think, okay, right, rather than trying to like act like everything's fine and just go about my life and do a million things all at once, I'm going to slow things down because I really need this time to get my head straight and figure out what exactly I'm feeling and what I actually want, because I'm feeling so mixed right now. And this energy is so heavy that I just feel like I'm suffocating it. Like I really need to take some steps back. That's what I feel like is being communicated there. So that's what's coming up, you know, in September for you, that you're really going to do some introspection and just reflect on all that happened and see, you know, how you truly feel about it and what you truly want as a result, okay? So now what I want to look at is the card in the position of your what's in your power to affect, to change, okay? In regards to this circumstance. You know, a million things trying to come out there, I swear. Okay. Sword. My gosh. Son of Swords in reverse. One day I will function like a normal human being, I promise. It's just that I'm running on very little sleep. Because, you know, heat, creative inspiration, insomnia, you get the deal. So yeah, Son of Swords in reverse. So I feel like that's the problem. You still feel like you don't have power here. That because of the way this communication came in and you felt like they were the driving force in it, and that was the same when you were on good terms, or good if you want to call it that, but when you were still speaking, it was always on their terms. They were always leading everything. They had all the power, and then you had this huge blowout, massive row, and even then you still weren't able to get your viewpoint across. They still overpowered you in that way, and that still made you feel really just like helpless. And that's the energy you're sitting in right now, right? That you feel like, I'm helpless, I can't control anything in regards to this situation, I can't get my message across. Well, I think what it's telling you here is you do have power, actually. You have much more than you think, and you may have to approach it differently, how you communicate with this person, right? You may have to try a different approach. You might have to use outside of the box thinking in order to find a solution where you can communicate how you feel in a way that isn't going to cause an explosive reaction, that isn't going to put you in a situation where you feel like, I have to deal with this all over again, right? So you're going to have to really think on that, and I think that will come in to the introspection work that you do, okay? You'll find another way to approach this situation than you have been currently, okay? So what's the position, or what's the card in the position of your feelings, right? So this is how you're feeling on the surface and what you want to do in order to communicate how you truly feel, but how are you truly feeling? Like, what is actually lurking beneath the surface there, right? Sitting in your subconscious and unconscious mind. Okay, 2 cards, so I'm just going to take it. So, yeah, so you've got the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Wands. So you are feeling pretty much defeated at this point. You just can't, you've got nothing else to give at this point. You are so emotionally depleted, right? You see all this broken glass for the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups, yeah. That's you right now. Like, emotionally, you're just completely run dry. To the point where you're not only run dry, your glasses are smashed, right? You haven't even got, intact glasses to fill at this point. That's how deflated you are, right? And that's not good, right? That's something you really need to address. But this is what this circumstance has brought about. It's brought you to this point where you're probably feeling very numb. You're probably feeling like nervousness and anxiety, but it's got to the point now where you've been sat in that energy for so long that you're just becoming numb to all things, right? It may be that you're moving into a state of depression, so you need to be aware of that. If this message resonates with you, you need to be aware of that and maybe look into, seeking some counseling, some therapy to help you address that before it gets serious. Or you may just need to open up to someone who's very supportive and who's very good with supporting people in that kind of position. But do look at that if you are feeling that. And overall, with the 10 of Wands, I feel like you're just done. You feel like you've exhausted every possible angle. You don't see any way of rectifying this situation, right? I think you're just coming to a point where you're just like, I've got nothing else to give to the circumstance, right? There's nothing else I can do to change it. So I don't think it's just feeling powerless. I feel like you've tried everything and it's still not working. So you're just like, I'm just gonna have to start completely afresh, clean slate and see what happens from there. But I just can't continue with this anymore. This needs to be done already because I have nothing left to give, right? Yeah, I just had the Son of Pentacles come up, which is the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like this other person is still charging towards you and trying. So even though you may not be talking right now, I feel like you're kind of butting heads still. Maybe even unconsciously. So maybe if you have like a strong psychic connection with this person, it could be that you're still communicating on that level, but not in person. But you just can't do it anymore. You're just there's nothing left to give. You're just done, right? So let's have a look then in regards to the advice position. For the Father of Pentacles. So I feel like this is the energy you need to embody, right? You need to take care of yourself on all levels, right? King of Pentacles, you need to take care of yourself, right? You see how the pentacle is shining in between these magical rainbow antlers, yeah? And look how strong he is there, basking in this light, okay? That's where you need to get to. So the only way you can do that is by working on yourself, okay? And then you can relook at the situation. But right now, you're just running completely empty on all levels. You're probably burning yourself out because you're just distracting yourself with everything in the world. You're probably not eating very well. I doubt you're sleeping very well, especially if you do have a strong psychic connection with this person. I doubt either of you are sleeping well. You're probably working, like I said, all hours of the day, not having any downtime. So that's why I think you're going to take some steps back this month as well, so you can really assess and have that time to gain the clarity that you need. So it's really important that you take care of yourself, mind, body and spirit, right? That's the advice here. Because you're just wearing yourself down. So you need to take a very strong, assertive stance, right? You need to step into your power and make the choice to take care of you, first and foremost, okay? That's the advice here. So now, what's in regards to the external circumstances, individuals, environments that are affecting this situation? You've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So yeah, there's just too much going on right now, too many pathways, too many options. I feel like this is very indicative of where your mind is at currently. You're just trying to navigate a labyrinth. And you're just trying to fight your way to see the sun again, right? That's what I feel like. I feel like you're down here and you're just constantly meeting dead ends and you're just trying to find the sun again. And I feel like some of these dead ends that you're meeting are situations that you're putting yourself in. I feel like some of them are communications you've had with this person where it doesn't lead to anything or any resolution. Some of it will be you making things difficult for yourself by not taking the time to do the work. Some of it will be other people that are trying to be helpful. I think some of them obviously will give you support, and in the right way, but I think some of them don't have all the facts, so they may be trying to help you, from a good place, but they don't know everything about the circumstance, so they may be giving you advice where they can't see the full picture, right? So it's not accurate, so you're not getting the best advice. And it could be for them as well, right? The person you're dealing with, they could be getting advice where the person means well, but they don't have all the facts, right? So that's contributing to the issue, okay? So you both are going to have to really listen to your own intuition. Of course, take the advice where it's applicable and it's good. It's good advice, but also know that only you and this other person have all the facts, right? So you need to come to your own conclusions, right? All they can do is support. You have to take control of your life, okay? But I feel like all of those things are just what's causing the confusion. So you really need to take that time to step back and have a look at what's actually going on and what you can do to ease this heaviness that's surrounding you right now, so that you can go inward and really focus on your own well-being. Because that's where you want to get to, okay? You want to get to the Ace of Wands. So you can't do that if you're just constantly meeting dead ends, right? And now what I want to look at is your hopes and fears. 3 cards, okay, I'll take them. So I will say that this is, so I've got 2 for your hopes, 1 for your fear. And it's in the right position as well, it's cool. So I think your fear is represented in the 8 of Wands here. Is that if you take decisive action and you really do decide to completely dead this circumstance with this individual, or completely dead any kind of rekindling of this connection, then you're going to be left alone, right? You're going to have to live life alone. I think your fear of being alone is what ties you to this circumstance. And that cannot be, okay? You're better off alone than being in a perpetual cycle of negativity, okay? So that's something you really need to address, because if you're not comfortable being alone and being by yourself, then that ends up bringing up all sorts of codependency in a relationship, right? It could be that goes for both of you, right? That's what I'm saying. But otherwise, it could be that you're just become dependent on having the presence of another in order to feel right within yourself, and that cannot be. So you need to address that, okay? Then in your hopes, you have the 6 of Wands in the upright and the 7 of Cups. So you really just want to be operating at your, as yourself again. You really want to be coming from a good place where you feel emotionally fulfilled, that you have the support, that you can be just content in all aspects of your life, that you're really able to create the life that you wish, explore the world, do art projects, whatever it is that makes you really happy, that brings the most joy in your life. You really want to be able to focus on that. And I feel like right now this circumstance is making it impossible to really tap into that joy that comes from your day-to-day activities, right, and your hobbies, your interests. So you really want to feel emotionally grounded, but also inspired and, aspiring towards something that makes you feel just so abundant and joyful and happy and just so complete, right? That's why I feel like you want to be the butterfly. I feel like, you want to go into this cocoon phase where you transform and you alchemize all those negative thoughts, feelings, behaviors, circumstances, and transform and push them into something that's beautiful and uplifts people and uplifts yourself and really transforms your life. That's what I feel like, you know, you want to be the butterfly. And I'm telling you, you can. It's just going to take some work. It's going to take some time, right? But you have to make a decision with this connection and communication, because I already feel like you've already kind of made a decision. You've already kind of decided to terminate this, but you're not willing to commit to that decision yet. Ooh, what was that? Yeah, Seven of Swords in reverse, so you're really just sitting on things right now, because even though you've made a decision, you don't want to act on it because you're scared what the consequences will be. So that's why you're not moving. Okay. Yep, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse as well. So you're actually manifesting this situation right now that you're currently in by not making a decision and being not making a decision with integrity, right? And I don't mean that in a horrible way, but I just mean that you know, you're not standing in your truth, okay? You're just kind of fearful right now. You're in a place of fear because you're scared of being alone and what that entails. But you already basically are alone in that regard. So where this person is concerned, not in general, of course you have other connections, but you're already alone in regards to where this person is concerned. So why are you making it more toxic for yourself? I don't understand. Yeah, this is what the energy you need to embody, right? The Chariot. This is very much Cancerian energy. This is my energy. I'm giving it to you, right? Take it. This is what you need to embody. Move forward. So, and lastly, I just want to look at the overall outcome for the month, okay? Because you are going to be dealing with this stuff. It's not going to just go away. So you need to address this, and you need to really take the time to reflect and get to the heart of what you really want. Do you really want to sever this connection? Because I feel like it's not just your fear of being alone that's stopping you. I think you do have some very strong feelings for this person, where it is, but there's just so much toxicity in the situation that you know that it's probably not going to serve you to keep going this way, right? But you have to make a decision. No one can make that decision for you. I can't tell you what to do. You have to discern that for yourself using your intuition, okay? And taking the time to reflect. But in the outcome, you've got the Four of Swords. You're not going to have this communication with this person, okay? But you're not going to... So you're not going to have this communication with this person, and you're not going to take decisive action. You're just going to wait and see how it pans out. You're going to wait and see what they do, I think. You're watching to see what their next move is. But you've been doing that a lot, right? And that's why you're still in this situation. But hey, it's your life, Scorpio. You do what you want, okay? So the last thing I want to do before I close this read is just find out why after all of this you're still sitting in this, you know, position of I'm just gonna sit back and see what happens. I don't want to take decisive action. Okay, you got the Death card because you know that means big change. It will change everything, and that's another thing that you're afraid of. You're afraid of huge changes because you've already had some, and you didn't like what it led to. So you're afraid that if any more come your way, that you won't be able to cope. And that's not true. Okay, so that's why it's really important that you take the time to do the introspection, tap into your knowing and highest self, okay? Reconnect with your highest self. And that will give you the nurturing, the support and healing that you so badly need, Scorpio, okay? And that will also help you to feel within your power again, okay? Because that's you, that's your true self, okay? That's the place that never questions its ability, its power, okay? It's just knowing, it just knows that it has that, okay? It's just comes from a place of knowing, right? So that's what you need to tap into in order to resolve this, okay? So I hope this was useful for you. Sorry if I sounded like I was telling you off in places, but you need that tough love, I feel, because you've just been sat in this really confused, like, just chaotic energy for far too long, Scorpio. So you need to address these things, okay? I wish you all the luck in the world, regardless of what you choose. I hope you resolve it. And yeah, just don't be afraid to stand up for your feelings, your true feelings, and communicate that in a more creative way, okay? In a way that you will be heard, okay? So there you are. I wish you all the best. I will speak to you guys soon. If you like this reading, if it resonated, do hit the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will speak to you next time.